Good afternoon, everybody. Breaking news on the Manchester United takeover front. This is the United Stand, bringing you the in-depth, analysed, full info on everything that's going on with Manchester United right now. We've given it a few minutes. We've let all the quotes come out. We've read everything up. We want to know what's going on, who said what money's going where, how it's going down. And this is it, basically. Is it a take it or leave it offer from Sheikh Jassim? That's the news coming out. Mike Keegan, ESPN, Jamie Jackson, everyone's talking about this right now. It's all over social media. People are talking and going absolutely crazy. What is happening with this bid? Where are we at? Is it realistically a take it or leave it offer from Sheikh Jassim? The Qatari bid. The Qataris just saying we're giving up after this one. So apparently, and we'll bring up as many quotes as we can on the screen for you right now, people, so you can see. But the biggest one for me, and the one I want to start with, is the basic that the Qataris have gone to the Rain Group and said this is a take it or leave it offer. We will not be going anywhere further down the line in the bidding process after this bid. Now, how do we look at that? How do we dissect that and go, okay, let's see if the Qataris are genuine? Is this a bluff? Because let's be honest, when the Qataris go in for something, they don't like losing. They are in it to win it, and to give up after this next bid, I feel like there's an element of anger within Sheikh Jassim and the Qatari bid right now, and the way that this has been worded and how it's come out. But you look at it and you go, they do look like they've just thrown a bid in there now. It's not much more than what it was, and you've got to say, is it really going to tempt the Glazers? A take it or leave it statement on top of this bid, really, for me, doesn't tell me that the Glazers are going to turn heads and just go, right, okay, that's big enough. It works out round about 5.2 billion. 5.2 billion with an extra it works out around about 850 million, because they've been doing it and working it out in dollars. So I think it's 6 point something dollars for the club, clears all the debt, gets everyone out of there, one owner, nice and simple, and then another fund pot which is going to be put into the infrastructure and spending. And that's going forward. That is a full commitment, a pledge to Manchester United to spend that money where is necessary. It has been rumoured that this bid is coming now because Sheikh Jassim wants to give Ten Hag as much and as quickly as possible to strengthen this squad going into next season. That's another quote that's come out. Ben Jacobs has been reporting on this as well. He's a good friend of the channel. We've had him on many Twitter spaces. Maybe there will be one of them coming up. Maybe we can get Ben on and try and get this, get all this news dissected and find some ins and outs on this as well. We have got another journalist on with me next week on Tuesday in Adam Talks as well. So we're bringing you that and some more inside info on the takeover. So stay tuned for that as well. But as it is right now, and you can all see, you're all reading the quotes, you're all seeing what I'm seeing. You tell me, what do you think? How are you seeing this? How are you reading it? For me, honestly, knowing how the Glazers are, knowing how they work, is this really going to be significant enough for them to go, yeah, okay, we'll take that? Is it much more? It wasn't much more. It's still nowhere near the 6 billion that the Glazers want. And people will say, yeah, it is over 6 billion with the added investment. But like I've said on a previous show before, that added pledge to Manchester United and that money going in basically means absolutely diddly squat to the Glazers. They don't care. They don't care about that money that's going in after they've left. So that take it out of it. We're at about 5.2 billion. That's where the bid is for full ownership. And they've reiterated that stance. This is for 100% ownership of Manchester United. Everything is going into the club from a simple cash sale, which they're saying is the simplest way, and are hoping that that is going to convince everyone going forward is the best way and easiest way to end this saga. Put that through as a cash transaction, simple, one man in charge, one man calling the shots. We spend it here, we spend it there. That is what they're saying. That is basically everything that this latest bid. To me, it smacks of anger. It smacks of fed up, waiting around. The fact that we know Sheikh Jassim has gone behind Rain Group and gone straight to the Glazers before in this. And it just seems to be that the Glazers really, again, arrogantly as they are, stubborn as they are, don't care. Don't care how this process goes down, as long as at the end of the day they get what they want. They're in no rush at all. Whereas the Qataris, I don't even know if Sir Jimmy's in a rush. The Qataris and Sheikh Jassim look like the only people that are in a rush to get this sale done. They have Manchester United at heart and want to invest that money within the football club as soon as possible in the right areas, like I just said. that ultimately will be in the playing squad straight off. Ten Hag will have funds to go out and buy the players, and his number one target's this summer. That is the whole sole aim in this. But is it a final take it or leave it bid? That's what we've got to figure out. I'm just reading through a few more quotes now on what people are saying. Any sale to Sheikh Jassim would clear MUFC's debt and promote funding for players, infrastructure and more. That's just come out from Ben Jacobs not too long ago. And that's where we're up to with this. Hopefully we can get Ben Jacobs up on a Twitter space again like we have before, just to add a bit more detail to his quotes. But he's all over this right now. The opening of the transfer window is seen as critical by Sheikh Jassim. In his eyes, it will have enormous bearing on the future of Manchester United, and he feels coming in mid-summer would be damaging. That apparently has come from Sheikh Jassim. That's what Ben Jacobs is reporting. So that there pretty much says it. He is calling out to the Manchester United faithful. He's basically begging the Glazers to take this bid. For the sake of Manchester United, he wants to give us the best chance going forward this season. Let me just read through. I've got a super chat in here. 3 billion finance with debt versus 5.2 billion pounds finance with equity. Debt on the club, staying versus debt swept away. I love United, but I have never hated anything more than the Glazers. That pretty much sums it up. Yeah, that is breaking it down. To me, as it stands right now, if this is a take it or leave it bid from the Qataris, from Sheikh Jassim, then I fear that that's not enough. It's not enough. Everything is geared towards Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And I know a lot of you are hating me for even mentioning that or talking in that way right now. But this is a world record bid. This is a world record bid for a sports franchise enterprise. It's ridiculous how it's not been accepted. It is what did the wording was and the quote was, it is an enormous increase on where the stock is right now on Manchester United. Where Manchester United stocks and shares are right now, not stocks, sorry, shares. I'm playing a full game of Wall Street here. But yeah, where Manchester United shares are right now, and the value of them, it is enormously past that. That's what they're saying. It doesn't meet the actual market value. They're spending way over the top for it. The branding and the name of Manchester United has bumped this price right up to a point where the Qataris look at it and go, should we be bidding anymore? Why the hell are they not accepting this bid? Well, welcome to our world, Sheikh Jassim, because the Glazers work in a completely different way to anyone else. How they managed to do what they did with this football club in the first place in the financing world, in the business world, is a miracle and an absolute coup. Right now, I think the Qataris are finding out how stubborn the Glazers can be. They know they're sat on an absolute fortune in Manchester United. And that's why they don't want to go. Breaking it down, you look at it and you go, the Sir Jim bid looks so much better for the Glazers because they can pay off the ones that don't want to be there, the Glazer family that is, so the other 4 siblings. They can pay them off, clear them out of it, and then they can do what they want. Maybe they would look then to reinvest in with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. We don't know this. All we know is that if Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually comes into Manchester United, Joel and Avram are going to still be there. That is a definite. The other 4, we really couldn't give a toss about, let's be honest. We don't care about them. They haven't really been involved apart from taking their dividends and taking their piece of the pie every single month. But the reality is, the problem, Avram and Joel do not want to let go of Manchester United. And Sir Jim is offering them that olive branch. He's offering that branch out to them to say, you can still be a part of this. And like I said, I have no idea how Sir Jim and his PR company are going to absolutely spin this one round if they do get the bid and get Manchester United, because no one is going to listen to him. What he commits to United is going to have to be out of this world to convince United fans that this is the best way forward. Not one Manchester United fan. I mean, there are some that would look at it and go, oh, maybe without seeming like I'm with the Glazers, I'll accept it on the quiet that the Glazers are still there, but someone else is in power and we've got more money invested. Basically, at the end of the day, the United fans' issue was the amount of money that the Glazers have taken out of Manchester United. 1.2 billion to finance the debt. They've already got their money back, which they fund, what they put in, 250 million back in the day. So the issue with Manchester United fans is, 1.2 billion could have been spent on Manchester United if we had a debt-free club. If we had a debt-free ownership, that could have been spent on Manchester United. The Qataris want to bring that back. That's what they want. They look and they are pushing this out there, I feel, right now. I think they're calling out the Glazers right now. I don't know if there's anything extra on the side of this, whether there's investment opportunities like when Mark Ogden was talking with us on the show a couple of weeks ago. There's apparently been offered some investment in Qatar to the Glazers as a sweetener in this deal. Things like that would probably be discussed outside of the Rain Group's control, and that might have been what's happened when they went behind the Rain Group's back. But the Qataris don't like losing, let's be honest. They got the World Cup. They made sure that they got the World Cup. If they can get a World Cup, they will look at this and they will go, well, we can get Manchester United. This should be quite straightforward. I don't think they anticipated the backlash from the Glazers and how difficult the Glazers are to work with. I think that's what they've never encountered before. But for me, I look at it and I go, whoever's in charge of this bid, going back without winning this bid for the Qataris and going back to Qatar with no Manchester United, having lost out to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I think is very embarrassing for whoever's in charge of it. And that, I feel, is why I don't see this as a final bid. I don't think necessarily, if we don't hear anything this week now, or the Rain Group don't come back, or we don't get any announcement regarding the Qataris, that's it, we're done. I just feel like they're still in it. I feel like this is just another play, personally, me. Knowing how they are and how powerful they are, I just cannot see the Qataris giving up on this right now. I just don't see in what they do and how they operate that this is going to happen. So Jim Ratcliffe, I feel right now, he's just sat back rubbing his hands together. I'm going to get some of your thoughts on this now. I'm going to bring on a few questions and a few comments from you guys. Super chat in from Amir Khan says, here's my $10 to help the Qataris get this over the line. Glazers out, so Jim in. Whatever is left over, let Mark have a pint on me. Said, mate. We appreciate your contribution. So we just raise it all ourselves, so the fan base just raise up the money and then go in with the Qataris and say, there's that extra bit from us. We want to keep Manchester United debt-free. We'll all come together and put our quids in and put that in your pot, and we'll have some sort of fan ownership scheme within your ownership. Let's get in touch with the Qataris. Let's make this bit happen with the fans as well. God, if only, eh? Super chat from SB says, Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have entered the final stages of negotiations with Rain to take over Manchester United. Lawton Times, breaking news despite the bid. That's coming out. I'll get confirmation about that in my ear, hopefully, about Sir Jim. I think this has all probably happened already and we're just finding out now. Matt Lawton from the Times apparently has reported that Sir Jim now is in final stages of negotiations with the Glazers. I didn't know that. Is that actually out there? Can someone confirm that for me? This is amidst the bid of the Qatari Sheikh Jassim going in now. The so-called take it or leave it bid. But for me, again, I'm sticking to it. I just don't see the Sheikh Jassim bid giving up just like that. It's not a word. It's like a take it or leave it offer from them. They usually just go out and get what they want. The finances that they've got, which is substantially more than Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and that's in cash. That's money free, ready to go in, no finance whatsoever. That is real money. That's not investment and trying to make this deal happen through bringing money in from here, financing a piece there, naming rights for the training ground or stadium, because that could come along with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. We don't know. I mean, looking at it, you just look at everything with the Qatari bid right now, and we're praying that they're not giving up on this. There's that horrible bit inside my head that says Sir Jim is just sat there with his cigar out right now with his feet up, already knowing that he's got this bid. There's just that bit, there's that little devil on my shoulder that's telling me and whispering in my ear. And then you've got the angel on the other side saying, no, the Qataris, they're still in this. We're going to be debt-free. But this little bugger here, this devil on my shoulder, he's actually saying, you know what, you're going to be riddled with debt. This is the Glazers. They don't care as long as their pockets are lined. They've got that investment. They're going to get money in their pockets, billions, and still be sat there in the stadiums, wherever they want to show up, spending what, $250 million, $500 million, private jet into the major tournaments that we've actually got done well in, getting to finals this season because of Ten Hag. Yeah, grit your teeth moment. It really is a grit your teeth moment. It's annoying, it's frustrating, and I'm sorry, I don't want to be the negative tone, but I can't help but feel it. As a United fan living with the Glazers since they've come in, it's all you know. It's all we know. This would be like winning the lottery if the Glazers left Manchester United, but you just know the Snakes are just they're clinging on to everything that they can get. That is the problem. Man like Mo with a super chat says, all signs point to Jim Ratcliffe has won this. It's a sad day. We're going to have the Glazers at the helm along with this rat who lied to the fans. This is what I mean. That's exactly what I just said pretty much there. The super chat pretty much nails it. Protest outside Ratcliffe's home. I'm just reading through a few more comments right now, guys. Jim Ratcliffe is such a snake. Sounds like Qatar are admitting defeat, and this is their ploy to pull out, knowing they have been defeated. Saves the embarrassment of saying they were beaten by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Oh, yeah. God, was that me that set that tone? Because everyone's gone a bit downbeat in the chat. Was that me, or was that already out there? I was going on a bit of a rant, and I didn't see all the comments come in, but... Oh, man, it's horrible to think. It is. It's not so much... I'm not digging out Sir Jim Ratcliffe and what he can bring. If he was on his own and he cleared the Glazers out, then I don't think half the people, even 3/4 of the fan base that are, well, pretty much the whole fan base who are going in on him right now because of the Glazer link, if it was Sir Jim and he was financing it, let's be honest, he is the richest man in Great Britain. His turnover for Ineos is astronomical. It's ridiculous. He has got a lot of money. If it was him alone, this wouldn't be as hard to take. It's the fact that he's suckered the fans in. He's promised this, he's promised that. Yes, we could bring the best in class. But one thing we know for certain, in best in class in football ownership, the Glazers are bottom of the league. They're top of the league for their world, in financing and the business world, and what they've done and how much they've spent and how much they've taken out of Manchester United. But in terms of running a football club and investing money in the right departments in that football club, the Glazers are relegation fodder. That's what they are. They're not best in class, and you want to keep them at the football club while you take over? You've seen how deep the Glazers have dug this club, and you want to go in business with them? Stinks to me of you really don't care about Manchester United, because if you were a fan, you would know where United have gone wrong over the last 18 years, and that's the Glazers. You would know why we were embarrassed in that cup final in terms of squad depth and why Manchester City is so far ahead, because we've been absolutely shackled with this debt and this issue, which is the Glazers. And for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to come in now with the Glazers would be the biggest insult to every single Manchester United fan on the planet. I don't care how you spin it and what you invest, they're still there. And that is going to turn the fan base. It's going to turn the fan base against each other, because there will be the hardcore that will say, no, 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 doesn't matter. Even if we're challenging for the title, some of them fans will say no. And then you've got the fans that just don't care. They just want to see a winning team. But is it sustainable? Manchester City win the league. You can see them moving forward because they've got no debt and they've got a structure and an ownership which works in tandem with the manager. Manchester United get one league title. That's not enough. Yeah, great, we're back. Can you consistently do it like City are doing now? Because that's the benchmark now. There's a difference. It's not like it used to be. Manchester United used to be able to just turn up every season. And by the way, the greater years were when we had no debt. Yes, Sir Alex Ferguson definitely papered over a few cracks for the Glazers, and we won a few trophies, big trophies, fair enough. But right now, City have set the benchmark. Because you know City now, they could win the treble this weekend. What's to say they don't go out and win the quadruple then? And then we are basically falling behind cities. We are falling behind the cities of this world. Everyone else is going to invest behind us. You've got Newcastle coming up behind us. With Sir Jim, we will not have the power that Newcastle and City have in the transfer market. Yes, the brand and everything and what Manchester United turnover is brilliant. We can earn a lot of money and we can invest that money. But you're still going to have to be financing that debt that you're taking on alongside the Glazers. So the Glazers have got Manchester United into all of this debt, nearly 1 billion if you add everything together. And they're going to get, what, 3 billion, 3 billion, something like that, whatever that is for their stake in Manchester United. They're going to be sat there with that in their bank account at the games, still having some sort of role at Manchester United and laughing. Well, we still got all the debt. So the debt that they made, we've still got, and they've come away with over 3 billion. Everyone's paid off, and they're still taking money out of Manchester United. Oh my God, the more I say it and the more I talk about it, it just depresses me and winds me up. Because that, to me, I can't see reality past that. It's... Oh, I can't start talking like this, it's just it winds you up. The football fan just comes out of me and it's like, I'm just like, at a loss. Yeah, United, that's what it is. You want to just get out and just, and there's nothing else to cheer about right now. The football's finished, so all we've got is doom and gloom Manchester United transfer window with the Qatar, with no Qatar. Oh God, don't get excited. It's not with no Qataris in, loads of debt. Sir Jim Radcliffe at the helm, who's taken on the Glazers' debt, well, letting them sit alongside him for the ride. Oh, swallow me up right now. That is the worst case scenario. What a nightmare for Manchester United fans right now. It was on the brink of every single football club in the world absolutely bricking it with the ownership model of the Qataris coming in. They were bricking it. And right now, every single opposition fan is looking at this and just laughing at Manchester United. That's what they're doing. Super chat in. From Karen says, this bid shows the frustration of Qatar at the appalling behaviour of Manchester United current owners. Glazers are greedy and must be kicked out. We can't kick them out, I'm afraid, Karen. It's just the way of the world and why we're all so angry and fed up and frustrated. Qatar needs to happen. This heartburn I cannot take, says Reflex JB. Cheers for the super chats, guys. Keep your comments coming in. I'm going to try and get through a few of them. Why do the Glazers suck the life and fun out of everything? Just get out of our club. I'm just done with them. I can't stand them. That's from member Shane. Honestly, it does. They do, don't they? They kill everything. They absolutely destroy everything. They sour the mood, no matter what you're doing in your day, and you know, even when you walk out of the ground, it's like when we won the Carabao Cup final. We won the Carabao Cup final, and then you just seen Avram, and you're like, oh, that's just dampened the mood straight away. Brilliant. All I want to do is celebrate our first trophy in 6 years, but no, there's Avram. There he is, the snake, the leech, and he's still going to be there. Oh, I don't think there's anything else come out. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if anything's broke. Well, I've been on. Jamie Jackson's reporting. This is crunch time, in brackets, quotation brackets, says the personage close to MUFC sale. Crunch time, it is. Definitely. Sheikh Jassim offer of 100% for the club is transactionally simple. Repeating it would clear debt completely and provide additional funding for players, stadium and more. That's from Simon Stone. Now, basically everyone in the world's media is reporting that this is it. It looks like we're in the final stages, the last leg, basically, of this whole saga. And right now, looking at it, it's, to me, I'm just going to try and give myself a little bit of encouragement and say, look, the Qataris are, they're playing something here, I think. I just don't see them giving up. I don't understand how, you know what Manchester United can bring you. You know what the future is with Manchester United. I mean, we haven't got an airline sponsor at the moment. Qatar Airways, it's just set up perfect for it. And for me, I'm just going to go and stick with my guns and say, I don't think they're giving up. I can't see this being a last take it or leave it. But that's what everyone's reporting right now. Adam, I met you after the Wolves game from Glastonbury. So Jim is coming as team viewer, staying, and our parents with him at Mercedes. I didn't know about that either. Tony, cheers for that one, mate. This all reeks of Ratcliffe, in my opinion. We're absolutely done for. Unfortunately, dark days ahead. Need to stick together as a community. This is, I mean, it is going to split the fan base, this now, it really is. So Jim Radcliffe's bid will add even more debt to the club, which spells disaster for the club and the end of Manchester United Football Club. Qatar in. Just reading them comments, just like, it fills you, doesn't it? It fills you. I mean, I say it again, it's like, I don't see how Sir Jim spins this. I don't see how he manages it. He literally has to pull off the biggest PR stunt ever to convince Manchester United fans. As long as the Glazers are at Manchester United, not one Manchester United fan is going to fall for any spiel that comes out of Sir Jim's mouth. In his first press conference, his first interview, whatever it may be, no one's going to fall for it. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to do it. And like, financial fair play is going to play into his hands. He's not going to have to spend. He can always use that as his advantage. He's just going to what? He's just going to add this to his portfolio. Manchester United is now part of Sir Jim Radcliffe and the Ineos group. Sorry, microphone having a bit of a spaz moment. I'm just ranting that much and moaning that it's all going to beat Pete Tong wardrobe-wise. I know we can't do much about the sale process, but I will not be buying any Manchester United merchandise until these idiots are kicked out of my club. This is it, and it then goes down the road of Sir Jim Radcliffe apparently being a Manchester United fan. Where was he? What was his thoughts when Manchester United were in the middle of the Super League bid and we were all being called legacy fans? Move the legacy fans on. Bring in the new fans, the ones that are just going to come for the day. Spend loads of money. Sit on seats. Doesn't matter if they sing, chant or whatever, or if there's any atmosphere. As long as his bum's on seats, that's all they care about. Where's Sir Jim's thoughts on this? How's he going to turn that around? There's so much that the Glazers have done. For them to be part of any Sir Jim Radcliffe movement going forward, an ownership model, you're going to have to really... No, you can't. You can't turn... there's no way that they can actually pull the wool over the United fans' eyes anymore. The Glazers have already done the damage and Sir Jim's just jumping on the bandwagon. That's how it seems. And that, going off what everyone is saying here, I'm just going to read through. I'm going to freeze the page here and just read through a few of your messages. If Qatar pull out, there should be a public statement as to what has happened. Sir Jim has ruined his public image by this. Do you think Qatar's bid is better than Jim's? It probably is better than Sir Jim's for the football club. But like I said, Joel and Avram don't want to leave. And if Sir Jim offers them $3 billion for their shares, they get to keep their part of it. What was it? It worked out, I think, when we broke it down the other week. I think I did it, Mark did it as well, where he said it's like $750 million a piece for all the Glazers. So together they invested $250,000. They all walk away with $750 million each and still have a pie, still have a piece of the pie somehow in a shareholding. And I don't care what Sir Jim says in terms of like, yeah, they're going to be bought off in time. It's how far we fall behind the likes of City. That's what United fans are worried about. The Qataris bid and that take it or leave it bid apparently that's coming today is for them to come in now and give Ten Hag the best chance to compete, to take down Manchester City, to put United back where we belong. That's their look on it. So Jim's, I haven't heard a word. Not heard nothing. The only talking that they're doing is with the Glazers and how the financing of it's going to run. No future plans. Yeah, we've heard Paul Mitchell might be brought in and like he said, the best in class to take United back up to the top. All good and well. All good and well. But like I said, one thing that isn't best in class is the football ownership of the Glazers, and you're going in hand with them. And you can actually see what damage they've done. Loads of super chats to get through here. Qatar doesn't like to give up, and that is what United should be like. Not shaking hands with the devil and having a make-do ideology. Yeah, I'd said that myself. I don't see the Glazers, I don't see the Qataris giving up. I don't, it's not in them to do this. It's not how it works. I just feel like there's another twist. There's another twist. Even if something comes out about preferred bidders, I just, the way that this has gone, this whole saga, I don't see it being the end. That's what I look at it like. Qatar would be the better option. Need full sale. Window opens next week. Everyone is already signing players and we are too slow, except Qatar bid now. Oh, if only if it was that simple. Tony Cox back in with another super chat. Sorry, my message should have said Sir Jim is in partnership with TeamViewer and Mercedes, so I think he is coming as TeamViewer is staying. TeamViewer is still there as a sponsor. As far as I know, that shirt sponsorship is still up for grabs. They are willing to stay along until someone else comes in. But like you said, that could all change with the ownership. It's right. Journalists are just a bunch of hypocrites, starting with this Delaney Plonker. 99.9% of billionaires have been involved in corruption scandals. I take it that's on the Qatar slant that he was going down. Oh, Qatar is best for us. A manager of Ten Hag's quality deserves Qatar. You can imagine Ten Hag with the funding behind him as well. Where he's got us to right now with the Glazers in charge and not being backed in January to get us into that third position comfortably in that final in the FA Cup, as far as we have on that limited squad, with what he's had to deal with. If you gave him the fuel, then he's going to turn into a super V8, innit? He's going to take us up. He's the right manager. We've done one thing right. I've got a future elite manager in Ten Hag. That's what you cannot deny. If you put an elite ownership model in behind him, then United are back. And that's simple. You can't argue with that. I don't care what anyone says. Adam, mate, why are you talking yourself into an assumption the Glazers will reject the improved offer from Qatar? Because it's not that much more, mate. It's not much more, and everyone's reported that. That's why I'm thinking that way. It doesn't look good. So Jim is quiet, and we're hearing now that he might actually be in final negotiations. If, like I said, and there's that little bit of me that still hopes, mate, that the Qataris aren't giving up. It's the fact that it's a take it or leave it. When someone says take it or leave it, it usually gets left. So for me, I don't like that terminology. I don't like the way that that's come out, and it worries me a bit. But then inside I'm thinking the Qataris are strong and the Qataris won't give up on this, and this isn't over. So I'm not giving up yet. I just have to look at the reality where it is now. No matter what the Qataris put in, and they're not going to go up to that $6 billion, it would seem, it still isn't as much for the Glazers for what Sir Jim's offering for their shares alone, and that's the worry. The Qataris have to come in and just give an absolute humdinger of a bid that the Glazers can go, whoa, okay, we're out. See you later. Are they willing to do that? I mean, would everyone be willing to? I don't know, the Qataris probably wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, the bid in everything involved from the Qatari side in terms of how much money they're handing over is over $6 billion, but they're pledging about 100 million of. They're pledging about $1 billion of that into the football club because they want to invest in their purchase, which is great for us, but the Glazers don't. If you offered this as an outright and they didn't have that pledged investment to United and we were debt free, would everyone be happy with that? The Qataris just don't want to give the Glazers an extra $1 billion because they probably think the cheeky bastards, to be honest. That's the problem. That's the stance on them. They're just dealing with arrogance in the Glazers and they don't care. They hold all the cards and everyone's having to play their tune, dance to their tune. The only upside is that if Qatar were somehow if the Qataris were to somehow win after all, it would feel even better after all of this palaver, but that's a big if. Yeah, it would be absolutely sweet. It'd be like an injury time winner, wouldn't it? You'd be like thinking you're down and out, 2-0 down in injury time, bang, bang. That's it, innit? It's like 99 all over again. That's what it would be like. I think the emotion would be close to that. Knowing that the Glazers are going would push Manchester United fans to an elation level that was on a par with some of the biggest moments in this club's history on the pitch. That's how massive this is. I wish the fact that the Qataris murdered thousands and built the world's farce mattered to you more than success of the football on the football pitch. Again, bring your comments in. We're just talking about football on this show. There's more to talk about off it, but do we have a choice? We don't. So Jim isn't clean, is he either? So we need to build up a defence for, what? Do we need to build up a defence for both bids? Do we need to talk about both bids? Or is it just the one and the obvious one? The Qataris and what they're doing and what they've done in the past. Do we just have to go in on that? Or do we have to talk about the environmental issues that Sir Jim Radcliffe has caused with Ineos? Does no one want to talk about that? Do we not want to talk about how the Qataris have got trade deals with Great Britain and how it's all right for them trade deals to make our lives better? Okay, there's different opinions and there's a lot more to talk about. But right now I'm just going on the football matters, and that's where we're going with it. Man United club value is 4.5 billion. Qatar has already offered 5.2 now. Way more than the market value. Can't blame Qatar. Now, cheer up, Adam. Qataris always win. Oh, I hope you're right, Ron. Come on, Ron. Stick with that. I like it. I like it. It is more, and it has been, and that's what a lot of people have been talking about today as well. It's an enormous offer on top of what the share price is right now. It's way over what the club is valued at. It's a world record bid for a sport entity. It is massive. It's the biggest in history. That's what the Qataris are offering. If the Glazers turn that down, then you are full-on greedy slime balls who have basically taken us for the biggest ride ever, and it's just going to crash at the end of the line. That's what it feels like right now. But we don't know what's happening. We are talking about what is coming out in the media and what has been said over the last hour. It's a lot to dissect. Guys, tune in later today. We'll bring you more updates as we get them. Go have a look on the United Stand Twitter feed as well, because everything that I've been talking about is there as well. So check that out for all the extra information on what I've been talking about there. Guys, cheers for tuning in. That is your quick-fire update video today on what has just happened. We will be back later this afternoon, like I said. Stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button on the United Stand YouTube page, because you will then know and get the notification when we are going live with anything breaking as well, guys, so you're up to date with everything. And we will bring on as many experts as we can to clarify and give more detail on everything going down right now. But for now, guys, that is it. Cheers for tuning in. More content coming, I'm sure. God.